have that 2-on-1 date that we're about to talk about, which I am
Let's do
so
it.
excited for. Like, let's get right into the preview because so much is gonna happen, and I'm so anxious.
Yeah, we have 6 clips to look through. We're gonna watch them one at a time, give our thoughts, give our predictions. This is where we get the clues because we watch these previews so fast on the TV. We're gonna pause them, we're gonna dissect them, and in this first clip that we have, Clayton is in search for his strongest connection. It seems like the girls and everyone is going to Niagara Falls. They're going to Canada. Gianna, have you been to Canada, Niagara Falls before? You live in Boston.
Yeah, so a funny story, my family, my second cousins are all from Niagara Falls. They live in Buffalo, New
No
York.
way.
So I actually go there once a year, every single summer or for New Year's. So I've been to the New York side, I've walked across the bridge, I've done the Canada side. So as soon as I saw this in the preview, I was like, oh my God, they're in Niagara Falls. Like, my grandmother literally has a condo in Niagara. I'm like, how did I miss them? Because I'm there twice out of the year. I'm like, God damn it, next time I'll get to see them.
Oh, cool. Okay, well then let's take a look at this clip. We got it loaded. I've never been to Niagara Falls, so I will be living through The Bachelor next week. Let's take a look. Full of water.
Wow, look at that. It's really important that I start to find out who's my strongest connection.
See, Gabby hasn't gotten a one-on-one date yet, so I think we're gonna see her on the one-on-one date next week, and Serene. Those are my predictions, because we saw Serene making out with Clayton, we see Gabby making out with Clayton. There's going on a roller coaster. Yeah, I hate roller coasters, Gianna. I've never been on one in my life. Like, I've been on rides, like smaller ones, but I've never been on a real roller coaster.
Oh no, I am an adrenaline freak. Like, I love roller coasters. I love going to Six Flags. I've been on what was the tallest roller coaster in the country, which was at Six Flags in New Jersey. I'm obsessed with roller coasters, so I would have loved this date. Clayton also looks like he's like you, Zach. It looks like in this this clip where it's paused, he does not like roller coasters. He looks like he's like hanging on for literal dear life. But this is gonna be a fun little date. It looks like it's gonna be a good time. Gabby did get what did she get on the Baywatch
She got a
date?
group date
She got
rose.
extra time. Yeah, I believe she did get that group date rose. To which
Yeah.
Shanae then started talking crap about Gabby and calling her a child and saying that she didn't deserve the rose and whatnot. But I love Gabby. I think she's kind of like me in some ways. Like, she's like that childish, kind of crazy, like talks in weird voices type of girl. And I
She
think that she's
does.
gonna be in like the top four, bottom four. I really think that she's gonna go far as well because I think they were vibing too in the little time that we've seen. So I hope she does get the one-on-one because I want to learn more about her and see more of them. So
Well, I think she might. Let's take a look at this next clip because we're going to be seeing more of Gabby and more of Sarah, who is getting a good amount of airtime as well. More than Susie, who we thought was going to be a top front runner. But Susie's kind of fading into the back. Let's take a look at this clip.
You gotta go for it when you think it can happen.
Sarah blindsided me in the best possible way.
I want to make sure you know every part of me.
So Gabby's definitely getting the one-on-one date. They're on a helicopter. They're on a romantic dinner date. And I mean, we keep on saying Sarah, we don't see the connection, but she's still getting this airtime and this extra time. And we're going to see her make a move next week that he's really into. My thing with Gabby is like, she's so flirty and trendy and sweet and kind and mature. I feel like she uses a lot of baby voices. I don't know if that's just the way she talks, but she's very animated, like you mentioned. And I feel like she is looking for a boyfriend, and I don't know if I just don't know if she's ready for like a whole husband. I feel like she's very young. I mean, Clayton's 28, so I don't even know if he's ready. But it's just a very young couple. That's kind of my take on this.
yeah, I mean, I totally get what you're saying. I think Gabby, like, again, like, I feel like when I'm a little bit older, I'm 24 right now, and I still act like a child. Like, if you know me off of these shared news shoots, you know that I truly act like a kid. I still go to Disney. I still scream at parades. Like,
Yes, you
and I
do.
think she's a total child in that way. But obviously I act like an adult when needed. So if we see on this group date that in a serious, I mean, one-on-one date, when they're in that serious conversation that she can act like an adult when needed, then fine, I give her a pass for the baby voices and acting like a kid, because it's important to have that balance. So as long as she can be mature when needed, then yeah, she could totally be ready for an engagement, a marriage, what have it be. But yeah, I really like her. I don't know, I just have a good feeling about her.
Yeah, me too. And I think we'll get to learn a lot more about her next week on the one-on-one date, and then we'll talk about her on here because we know a lot about her, but we don't know as much. And if you guys don't remember, she was the girl who initially, got her buzz in Bachelor Nation for her past relationships with Dean Ungler and Blake Hortzman, and she talked a little bit about those on one of the podcasts, saying that those were long ago, but Dean Ungler and her are still friends, and he thinks that she's going to go very far. And, we were talking about Rachel and her one-on-one date earlier in today's live. So let's talk about Rachel again, because she is going to be in next week's episode a lot. So let's take a look at the next clip.
Our relationship is going so well, and you continue to surprise me.
I really don't stop thinking about you.
Like, should we just end the show? I feel like we always figure out the winner, like, halfway through the season. And I feel like I'm so dead set on Rachel. Like, I just don't see it being anyone else.
I'm just staring at her dress because I was like,
know,
is it inside out or is it just flipped up
I saw
a
that
little
on
bit?
Twitter.
That's the one thing that I'm looking at right now, because I just see the tag in the seam. But yeah, I really, really like her. I would totally peg her as a winner. But again, like, there's so many other women, like you said, even like Gabby could be a winner as well. Like, I don't know, but the fact that he said,
Sarah,
like, I can't
Teddy.
stop thinking about you, that's huge. So oh my god, we are getting to that point. I feel like in the next episode or the one after, that's we can finally, like, solidify a pretty accurate prediction for the final four. So, but she's definitely in it as of right now, for sure.
She'll be there. I think she'll be there, and I think
Yeah.
there's going to be, like, a lot, like I mentioned, a lot of drama with her towards the end. I don't think it's going to be an easy winner. We never get an easy winner with no drama. So I think that Rachel is going to have this storm coming with her, but she's going places, and we have to talk about the drama. It can't be all positive and roses and rainbows. This is The Bachelor. Shanae, she's still there. She has caused waves in the house. She threw a trophy. She ain't going down without a fight. Let's pick things up where we left off with the Shanae show. Let's take a look.
Like me against 14 women. He's mine. Sorry, but not sorry, bitches.
Shanae is toxic.
Ooh, the Shanae and Genevieve is going to happen. 14 women. Do we really think that it's 14 women versus her? There's no way everyone in the house has a problem with her. I feel like Susie is the sweetest girl in the house. And I feel like she, a couple times throughout the season, tried to talk to Shanae with reason. And it just kind of got edited out. But I just don't think it's Shanae versus 14 women. Do you?
No, I just feel like it was definitely Shanae versus Elizabeth, but Shanae did this to herself. I think the women are just so sick of how they disrespected not only Elizabeth, but how she disrespected multiple other women in the house as well. So it's like, they're probably not against her, but they're probably not trying to be her best friend either. So obviously we know women form friendships on this show. And if I were one of the women, I definitely wouldn't want to be friends with Shanae. So I think everyone's just keeping Shanae at an arm's length and, like, just being an acquaintance while they're all closer. Because no one else is causing a problem in the house. It's literally only Shanae. So she's doing it to herself. She's isolating herself, and she knows it in the back of her head. That's why she's saying it's 14 women versus Shanae. It's like, honey, you're literally doing it to yourself. Like, just be nice and apologize and like acknowledge what you've done in the past, and maybe people will be friends with you. But she's just going to continue to be this crazy mess. So
yeah, we don't see it very often where there's, like, one villain. Like, last year there was, like, 2 or 3 villains, but, like, everyone had a friend. Like, it just seems like Shanae doesn't have, like, a companion on camera. Like, maybe there's, like, someone she's making eggs with behind the scene or shrimp with. But she's kind of making this a lot harder for herself. And like I said, I think she's really just having fun with being the villain. I think she's seen the show before and she's just kind of living it up. And I mean, this epic 2-on-1 date is going to happen, but there's also going to be a roast next week, Gianna. The infamous roast. We see this every single season. Let's take a look at this group date roast because it gets messy on these things.
She's like a herpes outbreak. No matter how hard you try to get rid of her, she keeps coming back.
See, I don't like this. Like, I don't like talking about someone while they're not there. Shanae is obviously going to be on the 2-on-1 date, so she won't be on this group date. So I just don't think it's fair to roast her and make fun of her while she's not there.
Do you think that that's directly about Shanae, though? Because she didn't say her name. She never said her name in this clip. So it could totally be about something else. We know that these editors love to manipulate these previews and make us think that it's about somebody. Because she could be talking about like one of her friends
Maybe
and
like
just
an
making
ex?
a joke. Like, yeah, or an ex. She could be talking about
Okay.
God only knows who. So you never know that this is directed at Shanae. I think they're making it seem like it is just because, this little section is about Shanae being the villain and stuff. And I think that all these women are way more mature than Shanae, too, to actually stoop down to that type of level. So I am excited for this roast, but I don't believe that one little line is about Shanae. But yeah,
Okay.
I want to see what goes down on this 2-on-1 date. I'm so excited for that more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that it's not either. I feel like whenever we see roast on The Bachelor, they always edit it where it's like targeted at one person. I remember it was like during Claire's season, it was all about Dale. And then like for Katie's, it was all about Hunter. Like I like a roast is like everyone gets roasted. And I'm sure everyone does, but it's, the edit. But I mean, like everyone needs to get their fair share of it. So I hope that that's not the case because Shanae is not there. So it wouldn't be fair. But I like these dates. I think it really pushes people out of their comfort zone when you go on stage with a microphone and you kind of share your thoughts. So it's probably going to be a funny group date and a funny episode next week. But this infamous 2-on-1 is coming. We've waited all season for it. Who would have expected it to be Genevieve versus Shanae? But it has been, and it is, and it's going down. So let's take a look. So one of them is going to be going home on the 2-on-1 date. See, Genevieve sticking up for the girls in the house and yelling at Shanae. Like, of course, she was trying to talk sense into Shanae. This made her a target to put her on the 2-on-1 date. Elizabeth is gone. So now Genevieve has become her arch rival. It also looks like Sierra is nowhere to be found, so maybe she got sent home at the rose ceremony. So, Genevieve kind of put a target on her back, and now she's going up against Shanae, and the last girl, or the last couple girls that went up against Shanae, it didn't work out for them. So how high do you have these hopes in Genevieve during this 2-on-1? Who do you think is going to ultimately get the rose?
Oh my God. Well, I'm so nervous. When I first saw that it was a 2-on-1 between these two, my jaw totally hit the ground because I was just like, of course this is happening. Like, this is like the perfect storm built, like made by producers. But if things are going how they're going now, and Clayton is like just falling for Shanae and listening to Shanae for some reason, it's like those cartoons, like I'm thinking specifically like Aladdin when Jafar has the stick and he like everyone's eyes go like red and they're just listening. That's how I feel like Shanae does that's what I feel like Shanae does to Clayton. So if that's the case still, then Genevieve is gonna go home. But I'm team Genevieve. I don't want her to go home. So I'm just like praying and begging that she does her best on this date and just can like get past the drama. But I don't know if Shanae is gonna be like, well, what was me? These girls are so mean to me, including Genevieve. And then Clayton's gonna be like, oh, Genevieve's mean. Okay, bye. Like I don't know how that can go down when the three of them are together. So I feel like Genevieve might go home, but I really don't want her to.
Imagine being on a date with her.
I don't think it can end well.
Genevieve is not going to know what hit her.
My head is spinning right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's awkward. 2-on-1 dates are awkward, but also we haven't seen a connection between Genevieve and Clayton. Like, we haven't seen much of Genevieve.
Yeah.
I think that this truly has been the Shanae show. Shanae gets way more airtime than everyone else combined. Genevieve has been one of the background characters this season up until she made that grand, moment with Shanae, like causing this beef. So I kind of think going into the date, it seems like Shanae has a way stronger connection with Clayton. So I would expect her to come out on the other side. But if Shanae doesn't show the growth and the vulnerability this episode, then I think that she'll probably go home because, you know, we're all sick of it by now. So we want to see some growth with Shanae for the mid-season, or it's just her time to go. And that's all the previews we have to share with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to let us know your opinions and your comments down below if you have not already, and subscribe to our channel because we'll be back covering more Bachelor, Love is Blind, and lots of other TV and pop culture news over here at Shared News. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, with Gianna Gravelisi. Our social media handles are on the screen right now. Come give us a follow and come say hi if you guys have not already. And that is all we have for today, so we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye. See you later.
Bye.